All right, let's continue on our lesson of unit rates with fractions. So for today, we're going to look through some example problems, and then you are going to have some work to do online. So example 1, Tia is painting one side of her shed. She paints 36 square feet in 45 minutes. At this rate, how many square feet can she paint each hour? Well, just like yesterday, we're going to use the bar diagram. We're going to use a bunch of different methods. So the first method we have here is the bar diagram. So on our bar diagram, I drew up my bars. It told me that she paints 36 square feet in 45 minutes. Well, why do I have a quarter here? If I'm doing a clock, I can split the clock into 4 sections, and every section is 15 minutes. So we know that a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes, right? So if it takes her 45 minutes, how many quarters is that? 3 quarters. So right here, I've got my bar into 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter. So we know that in 3 quarters of an hour, this first green part, she can paint 36 square feet. Well, how can I figure out that this should be in fours? If we already know that it's 3 quarters of an hour, I can take 36 and divide it by 4. Or not, yeah, is that right? Or no, divide it by 3. It's like, hold on. 36 divided by 3, 3 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Bring down my 6. 3 goes into 6, 2. So I know that each one of these is going to be 12 feet. So 12 square feet. So if I need to add this extra 15 minutes, remember, to make 1 hour, how I have to add this extra 12 feet. So if I take that 36 and add 12 more feet, what do I get? 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. And it's going to be 48 total square feet. That's using the bar diagram. We can also use a double number line. Remember when we set these up? One line represents the hours or time she spent, and one line represents the square feet. So here we know that our hours, we're splitting it into quarter hours or 15-minute segments. And 60 minutes is 1 hour. So now square feet, how much did we say before that each section had to be? Was 12 feet. So 12, 24, 36, 48. So how many feet are at 1 hour? So 48 feet, which is right here, to 1 hour is our unit rate here. We can also use a ratio table. Now, this ratio table is a little more complicated. I know that I'm looking for 1 hour and how many feet. We know 3 quarters of an hour, or 45 minutes. We need to know what one piece of that is, or 15 minutes. So how do I get from 3/4 to 1/4? Ooh, I'm clicking some buttons here. How do I get to here? Well, I have to divide by 3. I have to take those fourths and split it into 3 groups. Remember, if I do 3/4 divided by 3, I have to multiply by the multiplicative inverse of 3, which is 1 over 3. I can cross out common factors. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. I get my 1/4. So whatever I do to the one part of the ratio, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to take 36 divided by 3. I think I got enough room here to do it. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 times 3 is 3. Bring down my 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 3 times 2 is 6, and it's a big old 0. So this is going to be 12 feet. I'm going to go ahead and erase this math so we have space to do our next problem. Now I have to go from here all the way to here. So how do I get from 1/4 to 1? Well, if I have 1/4, how many pieces do I need to make a whole? The denominator. I need to multiply by the denominator. So 1/4 times 4. I can cross out common factors. I get 1/1, or I can just write that as 1. So I multiplied by 4. So that means that I have to take 12 here and multiply by 4, just like I did on the top. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. I get 48. So this is 48 feet squared to 1 hour. Are we getting the same ratio? Whichever way makes the most sense to you is okay. And the last is we can just do division. So remember, we're working with unit rates. Right now, the unit rate that we know is 36 square feet to 3/4 of an hour. Okay, what's that fraction bar mean? That fraction bar this fraction bar right here, that means division. So I can rewrite this whole problem as a division problem to 36 divided by 3/4. Uh-oh, I can't divide by, I can't do this. Oops, I wrote something wrong here. So I have to rewrite 36 over 1 because I need to have a fraction and not a whole number. So then I have to multiply by the reciprocal or the multiplicative, inverse. You guys got to see my Blue Jackets background. The multiplicative inverse of 3/4, which is 4/3. So now I'm going to multiply. I'm going to look for common factors. Well, I'm going to guess that because 3 is a factor of 6, that this is a factor of 36. So we can take 36 divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Bring down my 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. That's a 0. So we can cross out our factors. This becomes 12. 3 becomes 1. Now we have 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. So we have 48. So again, we have 48 feet squared to 1 hour. So all 4 methods work to solve your problem. Let's do one more example. Mrs. Garcia is spreading mulch. Mr. Garcia is spreading mulch in his yard. He spreads 3 square yards in 40 minutes. How many square yards can he mulch in 1 hour? So I know that he spreads 3 square yards in 40 minutes. Can I work with 40? Uh-oh, I got to figure out what fraction of 40 of an hour 40 minutes is. Well, how many minutes do I know are in an hour? So if I take 40 minutes over 60 minutes, I can cross out those zeros because that's just dividing by 10. So now I have 4 over 6. Well, they're both even numbers, so let's divide by 2. So here, let me rewrite this so that it makes sense. Woo! Okay, so we start with 40 minutes over 60 minutes for an hour. If I divide the top and the bottom by 10, and I can multiply by, just roll with me. 40 divided by 10 is 4. 60 divided by 10 is 6. We're just taking those groups of 10s out. You have those vertical zeros, we can block it out. It's not like multiplying up top. It's different. It just, yep. If you get confused about that, just ignore it. So now I have 4, 6. How can I simplify? What factors can I take out here? I can take a 2 out here, which gives me a 2, and a 2 out here, which gives me a 3. So now I have 2/3 of an hour. Okay, I can work with that. So we know that 40 minutes is 2/3 of an hour. And he can do 3 yards. So our unit rate right now is 3 yards squared to 2/3 of an hour. I'm going to show you division again. So we're going to rewrite this problem as 3 divided by 2/3. Well, first thing I have to do is rewrite it to 3 over 1 divided by 2/3. Now I have to multiply by the multiplicative inverse, which is 3 halves. I look for common factors that I can cancel out. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2, which equals 4.5 yards. So he can do 4.5 or 4.5 square yards per 1 hour.